Well, tonight's success story, Cincinnati's Dr. Henry Heimlich.
And not just because of the famous maneuver. Many years before that, Dr. Heimlich showed that sometimes the key to success is saving lives by thinking outside the box.
Part of being creative is carrying out your original ideas and fighting those who are trying to preserve what they've had for years.
The celebrated Dr. Heimlich just celebrated his 87th birthday. But back when he was just out of med school in 1944, Hank Heimlich volunteered for some incredibly hazardous naval duty, serving behind Japanese lines in China to help care for allies like these, including one who had been assigned to protect the young doctor.
One of our Chinese soldiers was shot in the chest and brought to me. He died in my hands. This was the first patient I had who had died in my hands.
The suction equipment needed to treat a collapsed lung was too complicated and cumbersome to be used during combat.
No one had ever been saved on the battlefield when they were shot in the chest.
But deaths like that first one weighed on Dr. Heimlich for 20 years. He wrote this book about the problem, and then in 1964,
I invented the Heimlich chest drainage valve. It did away with the suction. It's put on the end of the chest tube. It allows blood and air and fluid to come out of the chest but not go in.
Thanks to a simple flutter valve that, if you blow on it, makes a rude sound that immediately saved lives.
In Vietnam, every soldier carried a Heimlich chest drain valve attached to a sterile tube in an envelope in his pocket. If you were shot in the chest, you didn't need a doctor or a nurse. Your buddy could just take this apparatus, put the chest tube into the chest through the bullet hole. The valve was there, the lung would come up and stay up, and they could fly them off later. It saved thousands upon thousands of lives.
And now, about 120,000 are used every year by military and civilian doctors, even though, as with the Heimlich maneuver, the valve faced fierce opposition. Given all of the rules and regulations that we have and the threats of lawsuits, do we discourage people from being creative as a society?
You can't sit back and let people die needlessly because others are trying to preserve the old methods that really never worked or even caused death.
Another great living in Cincinnati. And if you have any suggestions for future success stories, folks who are famous or successful in some quieter way, go ahead and email me by going to Success Stories on our website, Fox19.com.